Hi guys, I'm the Simming Rowlet and welcome back to another build video. Today's build was heavily inspired by the Australian coastal home aesthetic. So you'll find lots of nice light wooden tones and just clean light colours in general, which make the house seem very bright and cozy, especially since there's going to be plenty of windows so you can see the ocean. So we start off by just doing the general exterior. It doesn't take that long because I did actually plan this house beforehand. So unlike the lavender homestead, I do already have like a general shape in mind. So the exterior takes a lot less time than the lavender homestead did, which is very good. So I wanted to go for like a nice modern exterior, but I tried to make it look a lot less boxy by having a diagonal section, as well as having almost the entire first floor have a small shelter around the whole outside, and then have a path which goes from the back area to the front. But I don't see it being used that often, but it just makes the side of that house nice to me. And we end up giving the back area a larger deck a bit later on. But for now, I did have the pool on the ground level. But then I ended up making the deck bigger and putting the pool on the deck. I did try to go for like a infinity pool kind of look, but it was kind of difficult because the water was just a bit too far away from the lot. Well, the ocean was a bit too far away from the lot. This is the back area. It does get bigger so the pool can actually fit on it. Messing around with the fence types. I do end up removing the little black fence outline as well. We'll just go for the flat white foundation, but the deck on the side of the house does get a nice light wooden foundation. It took me a while to decide if I wanted to have the regular height walls doors or the taller doors, but in the end I just chose to use the windows that are the same height as the lowest level wall, which I think looks better, because then when you look at the house from the ground level, it kind of there's like a little gap before it hits the roof, which I think looks nice. Anyway, just doing the doors and windows. The windows don't take much time at all, since there's only basically two types of windows that I use. So it's those little square ones, and then there's the big ones. The big ones like that one I just placed. But the front does get a little change a bit later on. And I really liked how the second floor has like a nice little walk, like a bridge. It's not really a bridge, but it's like a little hallway you walk up into, which leads on to the master bedroom and guest bedroom. So I'm just messing out with the layout. So when I said I planned the house, I only really planned the shape, so I could just quickly build it and not have to mess around with much stuff. But the interior and the layout was all unplanned still. And I was planning on planning it, but I just decided not to. So I do like mess with some kind of weird, like, would you call it tiered windows? I don't think so, but it's like a weird wavy kind of windows. But I think I keep a few, but I don't keep it across the entire wall. So clearly lots of windows facing towards the ocean, so no matter what room you're in on the ground floor, you'll probably be able to see the ocean. And same with the two bedrooms, they get plenty of windows. Yeah. And the corridor gets a lot of nice windows as well, so you can see through the house. I just used a bigger fence when I was doing the outline of the top, but I ended up not even keeping the outline, so I just chose to put half walls around the outside main rooms. And it helps break up the ceiling a little bit, the roof rather. That's not just a big flat roof. There's kind of 2 tiers on the top floor, which I like how it looks. And yeah, this is when I was trying to lay out the rooms, because I realized there wasn't a bathroom, so I was trying to like slot one in somewhere. So it would have been funny if I kind of finished the house and like not have a bedroom, not having a bathroom. That would be kind of funny. And then I just do the outlines. It was a bit fiddly, for some reason it wasn't working, but then I got it in the end. And I do also extend the bedroom a bit bigger, a bit more rather. Just checking out how it looks from the gallery. And I even added like a slight third tier height from the top ceiling, so it kind of looks a bit better than just having the same level. And I also decided to shift it to the side a bit more, so it's in line with the side of the bedroom. I was gonna have some kind of weird open ensuite, but I just decided to have it a closed off area, just like a regular one. And I think we move on to the paints soon, and then the kitchen is the first room I work on, and that actually takes the most time, I think, because I spend a lot of time trying to make it work in a space that it probably wasn't going to end up working out, and then I end up moving it somewhere else and like completely redoing the kitchen. But most of the other rooms stay where I intend them to go. But we just have to finish off the windows first. That window that I just placed would have been really nice, but it was like a mirror window, so like I didn't really want to use it. Messing around with the windows. I think it looks better having the windows, the tall windows with like the shade or the horizontal bars across it facing the forest area, because that's kind of like where all the people, like, I don't know why there's so many like random Sims walking around this island when you're living on it, but like just so they can't really see inside the house as clearly as you'd want them to. Well, you wouldn't want them to. So I just put those horizontal windows in. Because this place is kind of like off the grid, yet there's like lots of Sims just walking around casually like they're just having a walk in the park, but like to get there you'd have to take a boat or something. Anyway, it looks like we've been finishing up the paints. I chose like a nice pastel, all the walls are a nice pastel color, which helps bring out the coastal vibe. And I changed the foundations a little bit. So it looks like I did change the wooden foundation. I forgot that I did. But then I ended up having trouble finding a stair that's like the same color as the foundation. But I think I just kept it. I'm not sure which one I end up picking, but I'm pretty sure I got close enough to it. Yeah. Yeah, so this is when I try and put... Oh wait, is it? Not yet. No, yeah, here we go. So I tried to put the kitchen on the diagonal section of the room, that house, but like it was not working for me. There was so many problems. So like, see how the corners have like really dark dark areas? It was, I didn't like it, but I still wanted to have the kitchen in the corner. And then there was like the counters don't line up. Like you can't have the counters go from one wall to the other wall because it's like the wall is not the same length. And then like putting the fridge in was a complete pain. And even if you put like a light in the corner of the kitchen, the dark areas still stayed. So it was kind of really it didn't really look that great. And then I tried to slot in like a little breakfast bar kind of space that would overlook the ocean, but I think I just scrapped it very soon. I'm not sure why I still tried to make it work, but in the end I just realized that it wasn't gonna work, so I just stopped. See, I tried to like test to see if the dark patches stayed, and it did, so I just moved it to this corner. And in the end, I think it turned out a lot better than it would have in the diagonal area if I somehow made it work, because I think it was going to be a bit too big. And that space where the kitchen was ends up becoming a nice lounge room, and it was actually a pretty big lounge room, so I think it was a good trade-off. Big kitchen or a big lounge room. But I think this kitchen is quite big either way. I just split the house a little bit. Although I made a little bit of, I put a break in the house. I haven't actually ever used that range hood before, and I was actually quite excited to use it. I was gonna try and put some kind of like wall-mounted cabinet, but I didn't. I just took it away. I didn't really like how it turned out. I actually don't build many houses where the wall height is not the minimum. It was actually kind of interesting to be able to use some of these tall lights. But I think I only used like 3 tall lights, and then I just used the paper lanterns that I really love. I wish that the light that I ended up using had like a little bit lower option, because it was a bit too high up, but I really loved how it looked, and I really think it fit the coastal vibe of the house. And I just put like a placeholder table. I think I ended up keeping the table, but I just put a table in there just to see how it would fit in this space, and I liked it, so I just kept it there for the moment. I was going to try and put a door there, but when I use the same doors as the other, like if I use the same doors as all the other sections of the house have the glass doors, it didn't like link up properly, so I decided to delete the door and just have windows. And I think there's enough doors on the back area if you ask me. Yeah, so I move on to some of the dining room decorations. I decorated a bit more later. We move on to the entrance. I really like how the entrance turns out. So you walk inside and get greeted with a nice painting and a few plants, because I really like my plants. And I end up putting just one central painting in the end. Yeah, I do mess around with like different styles. I do keep that like Newcrest kind of painting though. I don't know why, but I just call that the Newcrest painting, the blue one with the cityscape, because it just looks like Newcrest. Yeah, so I really like that painting. I think I changed it, I'm not too sure, but I do keep one painting only. And I do change the little accent table to be that really nice seasons like storage kind of cabinet, which looks really nice. There's the Newcrest painting again. I do mess around with these like this collection of paintings. I really like them, but I just chose to use a different type. But in the end, I think I like I just put something else there and it's not a painting anymore. Put some nice hallway mat, carpets down. I do mess around with the walls. And I do put the columns just to break up the space and give the ends a bit more, like, I don't know what you would call it, just make the ends a bit more prominent, the ends of the wall. And it kind of looks weird when you just have like the wall just end, but if you have a pillar there, it kind of looks a bit better, to me at least. And I do put like a trim around the entire first floor, because I think it looks pretty nice. And it also adds a bit of wooden tone to the outside. I do put some coastal blue colors down, because it is a coastal house. So if you're not looking at the window, you're going to be looking at a pastel blue wall. And I do put like a little seat outside so your Sims can have a sit and look out over the ocean and just enjoy the breeze and sun. And I think we do the little daybed area before moving into the lounge room. Yeah, so there's this I create this really nice area so your Sims can just grab a book and just read or just sleep if they want while they're looking over the water. But I end up making the space a bit more tucked away because it's kind of like poking out a lot, and in the end I make it so that only the daybed is poking out and there's like a little nook for the bookshelf to sit in, which I create a bit later. So here's the lounge room. Yeah, I think it's a very big lounge room, but the corners aren't really utilized as well as I would have liked them because the room was a little bit too small, but it's still a lot bigger than most of my other lounge rooms that I've made in the past for my Sims to live in. And it has a very big, it has that curved TV that you win from like I think it was like Tech Guru or something. I think you have to get it from the Tech Guru Korea. If not, you just get a really nice big curved television. And I do make like a little custom TV unit thing for the TV with the cabinets, because it was just so big that like using the little ones that I usually use just didn't work, so I used this really big custom made cabinetry system. And then I use some cheats to place items on top of it, since you otherwise cannot place items on top, which is a bit sad. And I think it turned out nice. I put some plants on there and a few, I think I put like a game console on it, I don't remember. Yeah, so a few plants and oh wait, I put a stereo on it, not a games console. I do mess with the orientation a bit. Imagine if The Sims didn't have cheats, like no move objects. That would be like crazy. And when the update happened and they said they removed cheats, I couldn't believe it, but it's good that they added back most of the important ones. And I'm pretty sure like move objects and stuff like that weren't even removed, but like reset sim and stuff were the ones that were removed. And I still use that because sometimes your Sims glitch out and you have to reset them, but they did add it back, so that's great. And there is a mod out there that you can just get that will enable basically every single cheat again, which I have. I was gonna use that like the self-standing lamp that I really like, that is really great for reading, but I always use that lamp, so I decided not to use it, at least for the lounge room. I think I ended up using it, but I don't use it for the lounge room. I had to mess around with the little coffee table because some of them, they're all at different heights for some reason, and I always like to use the shorter ones, and I always forget which ones are the shorter ones. But I end up finding this coffee table which I actually don't think I've ever used before, so I was happy that I discovered that. I'll probably use it more in the future. Like, I've played The Sims for I've played The Sims 4 for a very long time, and I still like find items that I've never seen before in the build menu. It's so weird. Like everything, there's like some of these like hidden gems tucked away, because like if you try and find a coffee table in the coffee table menu, but then you go to surfaces in like when you look through all the specific types of furniture, like a coffee, like surface, comfort, then you find like more, like for some reason they're not all in the menu. So we do the lighting, because I hadn't done the lighting. It's a bit weird how the curtains sometimes, like, they snap onto the window, but like it's not in the correct position if it were to be on that window, so I had to kind of like take the window away, put it down carefully, and then put the window back. Both bathrooms in the house are pretty basic, since I don't really know what the difference between like a coastal bathroom would be or a modern bathroom, so I just like made a modern bathroom with like wooden tones as well as like some pastel colors, I guess. Yeah, so this is when the bookshelf gets put into the little nook in the corner, so then it would make the space a bit bigger, because like if you had a few people walking through that area at the same time, it would be a bit squishy, but now it should be a bit less squishy. Even though the daybed's poking out a little bit, I think it's a lot better than it was originally. So I changed the bookshelf to a little study corner, because I didn't really have a room to use as the study, so just put it in the corner. And I'm pretty sure most modern day houses like don't have a separate study, at least the ones I've seen. And I really like how the bookshelf turned out, just like a little raised bookshelf above the computer. And then I changed the table, but when I change the entrance up a little bit, I do use the current entrance accent table as the little table inside the lounge room. And I did discover something, that when you raise a carpet, I was going to try and put like a carpet on the accent table or the coffee table, but like I found out that if you raise carpet, the carpets have been like programmed or whatever to never overlap with like non-carpet objects, which is quite interesting. So that means if you raise it, it will appear as though it's under the object. So it's like a kind of like a weird illusions, which is quite funny. I didn't even know that. Yeah, so this is when I put the seasons table in, and I just moved that table to be over there. And I do put like I like how putting the bookshelf on top of the table turned out, and then I just rested the little clutter on the bookshelf. So I think it really turned out really nice. And I put a painting there. I do change it to like the big butterfly one in the end. For some reason, when I do a modern house, I always have to include that like butterfly painting, because I think it just fits the house. Like it's like a light colored border, well, light colored photo frame, and then like just light colored butterflies and a white background. We do mess around with the pool colors just to make it a bit darker. And oh, I don't know why I put like the murky green color there. I think I just tested it out. I was gonna try and like make the pool go all the way to this corner of the house, but it didn't want to let me, so I just gave up. And I think we're about to move on to the bedrooms. But before that though, I do mess around with putting some trims around the outside, but it didn't really work as intended, so I only put the trims out on one side. Because if I put like the half walls back, it like deleted one side of the thing, which was a bit like, I wouldn't call it infuriating, but it was a bit like off-putting. So I just put it on I put it on the ocean facing side, which looked fine. I think we're just about to move on. The master bedroom is kind of empty, but I do fill up the guest bedroom. I'm not sure why I left the master bedroom a bit less decorated than the guest bedroom. You'd think it would be the other way around, but that's how it turned out. And when I was recording this, it did end up becoming really late when I was recording it, so I ended up just stopping it and finishing it off the next day. But I do complete essentially the entire house bar the master bedroom, but I do decorate the master bedroom a little bit more than it ends up being at the end of this video, so hopefully you'll still like it either way. And I do mess around with like the hallway a little bit just to make it a bit bigger, just so I can fit some decorations in there, because it would kind of be a really plain hallway if like I couldn't fit at least one plant, because I'm pretty sure like in every house I build there's always like one plant in it. Like 1 plant per room is like the bare minimum. Except for bathrooms. Sometimes bathrooms don't have plants in them, but I think both of them, I think one of them in the house did, but yeah. And I do like overlap. I do try to hide it, but I do overlap the curtain just to make it look like the curtains have been pulled back a bit, so like if you your Sims sit there, they can see outside without facing the curtain. And I also made this house fit for a dog, so if you do have a dog, there's doggy bowl and a dog bed in the guest bedroom. I don't know why. Now that I'm talking through this, I'm not sure why I put it in the guest bedroom, but I did. You'll probably have a spot for it. There'll probably be a spot for it in the lounge room since it's the same color. So if you do want to move it, and you have a dog, you can just like put it in the lounge room, and I think it'll turn out fine. I do have trouble finding the paintings for it, I think. Oh no, I think I just used those two, yeah. I don't know why the guest bedroom has clothes in it, but it does. The towels make sense though. And there's also like a little study space. So if the guests want to read a book, hopefully they'll like the collection we have. So after we do the after we do the ensuite, I think I do a little bit of changes to the master bedroom before I end up finishing the video. So I'll either just show you via the screenshots, or I just might even record like a new section of video and just like tour you through the new section. I think I'll just use the screenshot since it's just one room. So I think I took like 5 screenshots, so I'll just pick the best few and let's show you 5 screenshots of the master bedroom from different angles. And I do like how both bathrooms turned out, even though it is quite basic. It looked nice either way. It fit the house. Messing with the lights. Yeah, in the end I ended up deleting all the furniture except the bed and like the mat, but I do put some furniture back when I finish this house off the next morning. I do the exterior stuff as well, so if you think the outside's a bit empty, I'll work on it. Anyway, I think we're done. We'll move on to the screenshots now. If you'd like to find this house on the Sims gallery, just search for the user, the Rowlet, and look for the house called Beachwater Views. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you think, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!